In this video, you're going to be able to learn how to build your very own chatbot agent from zero to live. And this is completely beginner friendly. So if you've been intimidated by the technical aspects of AI, this is going to be a simple walkthrough and you'll be able to literally design, improve, demo, and deploy a fully functional agent. So let's get started. So we're going to use the software buildmyagent.org. Okay, and this is going to take you, when you click on here, it's going to be at the bottom of the screen. You can just click there and it's going to take you directly to this page. All right, and basically it's very popular integration with Instagram, Messenger, SMS chat, and of course you can do it with websites. Make.com, it integrates automatically. Zapier, it integrates automatically, and you can connect the API with N8N if you want to connect and do any workflow automation in the back end with this stuff. All right, so it's in 4 simple steps. First of all, you're just going to create a prompt. Then after the prompt, you'll be able to improve the agent, demo the agent, and you'll actually be able to see what it looks like in the interface, and then you'll be able to connect to a website widget, which is what's very popular for a lot of businesses that need this chatbot. And then also you'll be able to deploy it onto your client's website, and I'll show you how to do that as well. And really cool, this is a really inexpensive software, $19.75 a month, and you can literally have your own AI agent up and running. And the cool part is, for these chatbots, you can charge anywhere from $4.97 up to $9.97, and if you want, you can even add rev share in the mix of it, so you can actually make a lot of money for all the appointments that it does book. We'll talk about that later on in the training, but just to give you a sense. And then once you actually have multiple clients, you can upgrade to the enterprise, where you pretty much have unlimited clients that you can add. So simple, you just sign in, you do all the credential details, you add your information, you make your payment, and then it will take you to a screen that looks like this, minus the other builds right here. You should see pretty much it says create a build. All right, now depending on the business that you're working with will depend on the agent that you want to deploy. These are the 2 most popular ones, and keep in mind this was actually created by somebody who runs a very successful agency and then created an app for this. So these are pretty much the things that you'll need out of the box right away for most businesses. You have a sales agent where you can pretty much perfect for lead generation and sales automation. So you can click this and it'll take you right to one where it's already kind of demoed, and you can obviously play with it. Support agent, and start from scratch. When you actually have a better understanding of prompt engineering and you want to just work from a base that you can then build off of, this is the perfect one to go to. But we'll click on sales agent right here. And now you want to give it a name. Now we're going to do this demo based off of a moving company, because this is a company that I'm actually working with. And I'll just be able to show you how to use this when I actually create the demo for him. So this is for a moving company, but this can be done for anything. All right. So since it's a moving company, we'll call it the moving bot. Moving bot. It doesn't have to be that. It can be whatever you want to. Say this is the moving industry. Language, English. But if you wanted to do Spanish, or if somebody was a different country, whatever, it's totally fine. It would switch over to this. Now you're going to get the model that you want to be able to work with. I'm using 4.0, but you can use this for any language model that you want. 4.0 is probably the best for just creating mini tasks, and it's really simple. Now, in order for you to actually run this, you need an API key. Now, you may have ChatGPT, which is completely fine, but the one that pays $20 a month, but that does not give you the ability to use it like that. You actually need an API key to connect, and it's very simple in order to do that. So all you have to do is go to, let me show you really quickly. Where is it? OpenAI. And I'll have a link at the bottom so you can just go directly to it. Sometimes it's a little weird getting there, but if you go to platform openai.com, and it'll take you to API keys, all you have to do is create a new one. And if you don't have this set up, you're going to have to set up your billing, where you go here and you're just going to add some of your credit card details so they can actually charge you, but very inexpensive as far as the usage goes. And this really lasts for a long time, so you don't have to worry about it. And then of course, when your client and you actually set them up, you would set them up on their API key, so you wouldn't be using your key, because if you have multiple clients, that can get really expensive. But anyway, once you have your billing set up, all you have to do is just go create key, give it a name. So I would say the name of this is Build My Agent org, right? So buildmyagent.org, I'll just call it that just so it has it. Use this as a default. You create the key. Now you have the key, you copy that, you go back to buildmyagent.org, and you just you put in this API key right here, and then you give it a project name. You can say the project name is my moving agent bots, right? Now you save that API key, and now you can actually run it, okay? Because if you don't do that step, you're not going to be able to test the agent. Here you can play with the temperature. The further temperature that you go, the higher, the more creative it gets. If you do it at 0.3, it's going to follow your guideline for the prompting of how you prompt the agent. So I keep it at 0.3, but you can keep it at whatever you want, and you can test it along the way to see which one makes the most sense for you. Now, this is the personality and knowledge bank. Okay, this is really important, and this is already, obviously this is a template, so this is already going to be pre-populated, but you can change and adapt anything that you want. Now, as you can see, this is a work as a receptionist for a moving company, friendly, engaging, and also has the sales skills of Jeremy Miner. If you don't know him, he's basically like the sales guy of all sales guys right now, as far as popularity goes. Maybe Grant Cardone's there. I don't know if he still kind of runs that. He's more into real estate, but I digress. Basically, you want to have it working so that it does the task of, let's say, booking an appointment. It wants to make sure that when it asks questions, it asks leading questions and gets them to the objective, which is booking that appointment for that business. So what you can have is rules and guidelines to make sure that it doesn't sound repetitive. Only ask one question at a time, never repeat itself. That's important, to making an agent more human. And then, of course, you have the conversational workflow right here. Now, comes pre-populated. I'm going to actually change that to a prompt that I created, just because obviously this is not really designed for a moving company, but again, just to test it out yourself, you can totally use that. So I'm going to go back here and let me just pull up my prompt. And this is going to be the moving company agent. All right. So we're going to grab this. And its objective is to book an appointment. So you are a friendly, knowledgeable booking assistant for SMD based in Stanford. Your goal is to book free estimate appointments by collecting the name, email, phone number, and appointment preference. Okay. So that's going to be its major job. And then it's going to take them through phases. Okay. And I'm going to copy that right here. And I'm going to add that here. Make sure it's saved. Okay, and then the description is already here. And then it says you speak English. Perfect. All right. Now, another thing that you can do, which is really important to make your agent even more personal to your client, which you can add FAQs, you can add just stuff related to their website to make them more knowledgeable. So once the website is kind of added, it'll be able to know like the hours, it'll be able to know the location and where it's at, just things that the website would give it that, it's going to make it even more personal. So first of all, you can actually take and copy the URL, paste it in here, import website, just like that. And now it's scraped all the data from the front of the website and added it, okay? It's got the quote, obviously, which is important, where it's located, the office hours, all the types of services that provides. So now it's kind of already front loaded with that knowledge. And you can see you can store up to 32,000 bits of information, and it's only got 5. So there's a lot more that you can do. So let's say if there was we already got the services they provide, but let's say the service area, Norwalk, that's also a part of it. You can then take that as well, copy it, and then you can go right back here and add that to there. All right. So now that's even more data, right? So, and so on and so forth until you feel more comfortable with your agent. And now that you have the configuration, you've added your API key, you have the characters of how much data is actually about the client, and the cost per tokens that are actually included. So it's $2.50 per 1 million tokens. Okay, so obviously that's going to last you pretty long. And all the things that you need in order to be required. So now it's pretty much ready to deploy. Press generate agent, and now you just give it a couple of minutes, and the agent is literally going to be built for you. Okay, guys, so this is exactly what you need to have a first glimpse of your agent. So let it do its thing. It should probably take another minute or so, and then we'll get on to the next stage of step 2, which would be improving the agent.